Welcome to Redtastic. Story 1. Am I the a-hole for not attending a baby shower because I already had plans for a meaningless gesture? Sorry about how I worded the title. English isn't my first language, and I don't know how else to say it. My sister is having a baby, and she had a baby shower last weekend. She decided to have it on that particular day about 2 weeks prior. On the other hand, I had been planning to go away for the weekend with my partner and propose to him, and I booked a hotel room about a month ago. So as soon as my sister invited us to the baby shower, I said we couldn't come because of previous plans, and she was cool about it. She suddenly decided to have a problem with it when I told her what it was for, after it had already happened. The thing is, we are gay, and gay marriage doesn't exist where we live. When I told my sister we had a romantic weekend away and that I proposed to him, she said, "That's why you couldn't come to my baby shower? You guys can't marry anyways. So what's the point of being engaged? I can't believe you missed my baby shower because of a meaningless gesture." She got very angry with us and complained to mom and dad, and they're on her side. My fiancé thinks they're all a-holes because they completely shit on our excitement about being engaged by saying it doesn't matter anyways. I'm caught between my sister ignoring me and my parents sending me passive-aggressive messages, and my fiancé telling me that they don't deserve to have me in their lives, and I shouldn't try to make amends before they apologize. I have no idea what to think. I feel horrible about upsetting my sister, but I also feel like it was nasty of her to tell us our engagement doesn't mean anything. I don't know if I need to try to make it up to her or do as my fiancé says and wait until she apologizes to me. Edit. Just to make it clear, my sister had no problem with us not being there when she first told us the date, and we said we had plans. She was totally understanding because she understands 2 weeks is such a short time. However, after the baby shower and the proposal weekend were over, she and her husband, my partner and I all had dinner together. We gave them a present for the baby and announced that we got engaged. She then realized that that's what happened that weekend and got mad, because in her opinion, I could have postponed the proposal since we can't legally marry anyway. You're not the a-hole OP. Your sister and your parents are. Your sister was not upset about you missing her baby shower until she realized it was to propose to your fiancé. That makes her anger so much more worse and uncalled for. That means she believes that any excuse or reason would have been better for missing her baby shower compared to you proposing to be with the man you love for the rest of your life. Her anger, her words, makes me so mad on your behalf. Your fiancé is right. Until your family offers you a sincere apology, don't talk to them. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. I am so sorry your sister's response was anything but excited. Congratulations. Very, very best possible interpretation, which is still awful, is she is suffering a fit of a new momzilla over another happy event overshadowing her pregnancy. Regardless, you have not upset her. This is all her own doing, and there is nothing you can or should do to make it up to her. Not the a-hole. Wow. Your sister might just be a horrible person, or if she's not overall, she's having some crazy pregnancy hormones. She seriously thinks that your proposal is a meaningless gesture because you can't legally get married. The fact that your country discriminates against you should mean that your family is extra supportive of how much this means, if anything. She is so far out of line here. Not the a-hole. My parents, who are gay and were together for 20 years, divorced about a year ago. When they were together, it was not legal to marry. So they weren't married on paper, but they were in a legal partnership. When my aunt heard about the divorce, she said, "Oh, it's not even a real divorce since they were never married in the first place." It's astounding how a lack of notarized paper can lead people to discredit a lifetime of love and co-parenting. As for your scenario is a similar sort of thing. where she is discrediting your love because it doesn't say so on your taxes. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for not accommodating my downstairs neighbor and going to the cops? I bought a new apartment 3 months ago in a 4-unit condo built in the 19th century. The building is old and has beautiful hardwood floors. I love the apartment and everything about it, except the downstairs neighbors. Ever since my first day in the apartment, they have caused problems. The woman is around 40 and she's from the Philippines. The man is around 60 and he is from England. They retired early and they never leave their apartment. I'm in my mid-20s and I'm a working professional woman. I work 12 hours a day and I sleep 8 hours, so I'm only actually living in the apartment for 4 hours a day, which I spend most of it on the couch. Our problem started when I was moving in. The woman saw that the delivery guys were bringing my couch and she stepped on the door and started shouting my name. She was scared that my couch would damage the walls, while it was clear that the couch could and did easily fit through. She was shouting that she would make me pay for damages. She said that the couch needed to go. In the past 3 months, they have emailed or messaged me 5 times about my footsteps. They told me that they can hear me walk and it disturbs them. They told me to wear slippers and put on rugs. I wore slippers for 3 to 4 days and then got sick of it. I like being barefoot. I also don't want to put rugs in the apartment at the peak of summer heat, and I love the hardwood floors. So I have basically been ignoring their request. I'm sorry that this is happening to them, but I also believe that they should probably not live on the first floor of an old hardwood floor building if they are very particular about noise. I also believe that my unit is my private property and what I do in it is my business. They should not force me to do anything. I had a friend over for a week, and when I was not at home, they ran into my friend and told him to wear slippers. How dared they disturb my guest? Today, I got another email from them about my footsteps. The email was very long and very detailed. I think they wanted to record my behavior for the courts, in case they wanted to sue me. So I went to the police in person and explained what was going on. The police said what I do in my apartment is my business and they should respect that, and suggested that they go to the couple and tell them to stop emailing me about my footsteps. So they did. I watched them get the shock of their lives. Do you think I'm the a-hole? I do walk barefoot and pay no attention to my footsteps. I also refuse to get rugs. Edit. I did not mention this, but there is another problem in this building. The basement floor was sold in January, the unit below theirs. The couple who bought it wanted to change the layout, but the crazy neighbors did not give the condo board permission to do this, because they are worried about the noise from renovation, and the new owners can't get the city permit without the board's permission. Apparently, the unit has been sitting empty waiting for their approval. You're not the a-hole, OP. Like you said, whatever you do in your house should be your business, as long as you weren't being unreasonably loud or intentionally disturbing their peace. You're not the a-hole. They are the a-holes, however, for telling your guest to wear slippers around the house. It's your guest, not theirs. They're the a-holes for sending detailed text on how you walk. They sound like nosy, annoying neighbors. I hope they stop bothering you after the police visit. Now for some comments. Super shitty in an old building. I lived in a 1920s condo for a few years, and one of the second floor unit owners would complain about noise when nobody in the unit above was home. It was literally just the cat playing. That same person liked to party late and sleep in and had the audacity to ask their upstairs neighbors to not let their preschooler walk on the floors before 10 a.m. Top floor units in old buildings sell for a fair bit more than second floor units. There's a reason. Definitely not the a-hole. Everyone sucks here. Them for obvious reasons. Though I think you readily admitted you're being loud in the post, you literally say you don't pay attention to your footsteps. When you live in an apartment or shared building, you have to have some level of respect for the other people in it and not stomp around late at night. Also, if you're in the US, the bit about the cops coming is BS. The police don't interfere in something like that. That is a civil case and they have no authority to order a neighbor to stop emailing you about noise, unless they threatened you or crossed the threshold of harassment by sending too many. Not the a-hole. Harassing you like they are is completely unacceptable. However, I do think you should consider getting some rugs. I have previously lived in buildings where there was a requirement that a certain percentage of your floor had to be covered by rugs. For this very reason, a few nice area rugs won't significantly impact the aesthetic of your floors, nor would they make it considerably hotter in the summer. You could also offer for them to bring a contractor into your apartment at their expense to reduce the noise of the floors. Cousin of mine just had this done in their house, and it made a big difference. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for blocking and ignoring family in a third world country and refusing to give away money? Hello all. I have family in the Philippines that live in rundown areas of the country. They can barely afford medication for sick family members and can't afford clothing. My parents give them a hefty amount of money every month for their basic needs. However, I have cousins who I barely know message me on Facebook asking for more money because of unexpected emergencies. I also have family who message me asking me to find them romantic partners in the US, so it would be easier to immigrate here. I am a full-time student who is currently paying off student debt, struggling to keep a roof over my head as it is, but I do have a couple thousand saved in case of emergencies. I block and remove all of my cousins because all they ask for is money and a romantic interest to propose to, which I want nothing to do with. They also see the clothes I'm wearing through my Facebook photos and ask to send them over. I have sent old clothes that I no longer wear in the past, but they continue to ask for more. I spoke to my mother about my family and she tells me I'm selfish for having this extra money and not giving it to my family. She goes on about how I have aunts and uncles with cancer and medical needs are expensive. This makes me feel guilty knowing they have less than me and I have sick relatives. But I don't want to be put in a vulnerable position because I don't have extra funds. Am I the a-hole for ignoring family in need? Now for some comments. No a-holes here. I think Reddit is composed mostly of people from the West. Familial culture is not the same in many parts of the West as it is in some other countries. There's a higher expectation of blood helping blood elsewhere. Now, they may be taking advantage, but it's hard to tell from this post. It may simply be cultural differences creating incompatible expectations. Not the a-hole, another toxic Filipino culture. Once you give them some, they'll never stop asking. And they'll make it sound like you're a bad person if you don't give them what they want. Your mom has that typical Filipino attitude. It's your life, you don't owe them anything. My parents, on the other hand, would tell me I shouldn't give away everything I have to help them because when the time comes that I would need help, there is nothing that they could do for me. P.S. I'm Pinoy too. OP, I really hope you post this to Philippine subreddits as well, because there are huge cultural factors that Redditors are either not going to pick up on or dismiss as, well, you're not in America now, and therefore you should eschew everything from your heritage and culture from the old country. Note that I also vote you are not the a-hole. You're not in a position to give right now, and often people in the old country who haven't been to America mistakenly assume the streets are paved with gold and that everyone here is living in luxury at a mansion. But I'm very sympathetic to the problem and the pressure. Just do remember to take care of yourself first. It's like in an airplane, you have to put your own oxygen mask first before assisting others.